Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Shadrach-Bitrus. If you're a returning subscriber, I want to thank you so much for being a part of my journey. And if you just happen to stumble on this channel, thank you for sticking around. I hope you find the information here valuable. So today I want to talk about frugal living. As an economy, as a people, a lot of people are going through hard times. Inflation is on the rise. Purchasing power has become lower. And as much as we talk about learning new skills so we can earn more, I think it's also equally important that we learn about managing our finances and managing the money, because you can actually begin to earn 10 times what you earn currently and still live paycheck to paycheck if you do not learn good habits, good money habits. So, for those who are not familiar with the concept, what exactly is frugal living? Frugal living is about being deliberate, being resourceful, being a good manager, not being wasteful with your finances. It's basically about being careful about the way you spend. So, for instance, frugal living would look something like if you have access to 2 buckets of water to take a bath, why use 2 buckets when 1 bucket will get the job done? If you have access to, say, an entire loaf of bread, why eat 8 slices with 5 fried eggs when you know that 3 or 4 slices with 1 fried egg will get you satisfied? That's the concept behind frugal living. So, yes, frugal living is all about being economical with your finances so that you have the opportunity to have more in savings. And this is Finance 101. This is basic finance, that you do not spend everything that you have at the end of every month, so that you are able to build a savings, so that you have an opportunity to invest. And in investing, you are able to create a level of financial freedom for yourself, so that in the future you are able to live life on your terms, doing the things that matter most to you without having to feel a constraint of having to work for until you're 50, 60, 65, 70, and even above. I'm sure we've all seen cases like that. We've all seen people in their old age who you feel should be retired, and you see them doing certain jobs, you see them having to still be in the workforce because they have to earn. So the idea behind frugal living is that you always keep something aside, you set something aside every month or every paycheck, so that it gives you an opportunity to invest. So the first thing you want to do if you're seeking to live a frugal lifestyle is to do an audit of your bank account. And while this in of itself is not a frugal habit, it's not a frugal discipline, but what it does is that it helps you put in perspective where every kobo, every naira you're earning is going to. The first time I did this was, I think, early 2022. I did an audit of what my spending was like in 2021, and guys, I was astonished at the amount of money I used for airtime and data. It totally blew my mind, because if anyone had said to me, Naret, how much do you use, how much do you spend on data and airtime per month or per year, I am sure that the amount I would have mentioned would have been half of what it actually was by the end of the year when I did the auditing. So auditing your bank account at the end of the year, or if you want to do it quarterly, or however you choose to do it, either monthly or yearly, annually, it's still up to you. It helps you see the bigger picture of where your monies are going to. So once you're able to know where your monies are going to, you know how much you're spending on data, you know how much is going for food, you know how much you're spending eating out and hanging out with friends, then you're able to decide, okay, based on your priority or list of priority that you've created yourself, you're able to decide if you are actually on track or if you need to change things a little bit. So that would be the first step if you want to live frugally. You want to make annual auditing of your bank account a necessity. So after doing an audit on your accounts, the next thing you want to do is automate your savings. I've done this actively for the past 2 years now, I believe. And what this has done for me is that it it has given me an opportunity to save before I spend and not save after I have spent. So what you want to do is talk to your organization, your company, wherever it is that you work, or you can even do it on your phone through your bank app and make sure that your bank deducts a certain amount. So let's say you want to save 10%, 15%, 20, 25, whatever percent of your salary you decide you want to save every month, you automate it using your bank app. That way, they get to deduct that amount even before your salary comes to you every month. So when your salary comes to you, there's already a difference. So you've saved automatically. And it's a very easy way to make sure that you are consistent with your savings so that you don't wake up one day and you're tempted to, let me just ignore saving for this month. No, once you've automated it, it makes it very easier. It's just automatic, just as the so after you've deducted your savings for the month, the next thing you want to do is create a budget for what's left of your money. Now, I know that budgeting sounds like a very cliche word. We all use it these days. Everyone is all about budgeting, budgeting. But I tell you, budgeting is very important because when you budget, you are assigning a job to each kobo, each naira that you own. If you do not create a budget, you don't have a budget for the month, you don't know how much exactly you spend on transportation to work in a month, you don't know how much it costs you to buy your toiletries in a month, how much you spend on feeding, on electricity bills, on water. If you do not have an idea about all of that, trust me, you're going to get your finances all messed up. Again, there are fintech apps that can help you create a budget, a smart budget. You would usually hear people use the 50, 30, and 20% rule as a template where you use 50% of your income for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for savings. Now, personally, I would not recommend that because I don't follow a very stringent budgeting. So a good way to go would be to clarify your needs and your wants because a lot of times we are confused about that. You want to clarify what is a need and what is a want because that would vary again with different people. What may be a need for me might be a want for you, and what may be a want for you might be a need for me. But I think we can all agree on the basic ones like you need a roof over your head, you need food to eat, uh, you need clothes to wear. Okay, so I think those are the basic ones. Those are needs. Everyone can agree. So once you're done with your budgeting and it's time to spend, what you want to do is look out for affordable markets in your city. Some of us grew up going to certain markets and we don't want to explore other options because we're so used to the markets that we grew up going to. But it's always a good way to go when you explore other options. You want to find out what markets in your city have better offers for you when it comes to farm produce. So maybe you want to buy tomatoes, you want to buy grains, you want to buy oil. What markets in your city offer you better options? So exploring cheaper market options is always a way to go. Very closely linked to that is also the idea of buying in bulk. Now, buying in bulk is very relative because for someone who earns 50,000 naira, buying in bulk will look different than it would for someone who is earning, let's say, 200,000 naira. Someone who is earning 200, 350,000 in a month can decide to buy, let's say, a bag of rice per time. That would be buying in bulk. For someone who is earning, say, 40, 50, 70K, might not be able to afford to buy a bag of rice at a time. Maybe they can buy half, maybe they can buy a quarter, but just know what works for you and stick to that. Aside buying in bulk, you also want to cook in bulk. It's something that I encourage, though not everyone likes it because not everybody, some people would say, oh, by the time they cook in bulk, the food gets stale. To cooking in bulk doesn't have to be making a pot of stew that lasts you 3 weeks or an entire month. You can make a pot of stew just for a week or a pot of soup that will last you only a week if you are really particular about fresh food. That way it gets to be in your freezer and it's still fresh. What that does for you is that it saves you time, that you're not constantly on the go having to cook every single day. Secondly, it saves you money on gas. Once you've done a bulk cooking, you'd find out that if at the end of the month you have more gas to work with than you would have had if you were constantly cooking fresh food every single day. Another thing cooking in bulk does for you, another advantage, is that it reduces the amount of times that you eat out. So for those of us who do an 8 to 4 p.m. kind of job, you wake up in the morning, maybe you have breakfast at home, and then you go to the office. Of course, you have to eat, so most likely you're going to buy lunch at work. But once you have created a meal plan and you have food in your freezer, you can actually wake up in the morning, prepare your lunch and take to work. That saves you money. You see this always constantly buying lunch at work, it really eats into your finances. Most times we don't take note of it because we don't do an audit on our finances, so we don't get to even know how much we're spending on lunch every day at work. So when you cook and you eat at home, it saves you more money than you would have spent if you're constantly eating. So the final tip would be learn how to say no to some outings. It's not every opportunity you get to go out, hang out and chill that you actually have to take. This one might be hard for my extroverted people, but I think it's worth considering, because if you consider how much you spend in a restaurant for a plate of food, you go to a fancy restaurant because you want to just go out and have fun and create memories, and they're charging you 15k 20k per plate of food. You want to put that side by side and see, if you were making a pot of soup, how much would you have spent? Or you want to go out, watch a movie, you want to go to the cinema to watch movies with friends, you're paying for your ticket, you're buying drinks, popcorn. How much would that cost? You see that you're spending maybe 7 8k. So you may want to ask yourself, do I have to go to the cinema, or can I invite friends over? We can do a sleepover, buy popcorn, watch the movie together at home. That saves you lots of money. Or I can invite my friends over and we can actually make a special meal, something out of the ordinary, something different from what we usually eat, and we can still make that meal at home and just have fun and enjoy ourselves. So guys, in no way am I saying that you shouldn't have fun or you shouldn't live life to the fullest, but you want to keep first things first, and you want to make sure that 25 30 40 years down the line, when you're retired and you're just chilled and you are enjoying the older days of your life, you are not living in regret because you chose to live paycheck to paycheck, spending everything that came into your hand, but that you're able to constantly put something by the side, which gave you an opportunity to invest, and now you have more financial freedom because you have more money that you can do more with, even when you are retired and you're not actively earning a salary. So guys, that's it. I just thought to share this with you. I hope that it helps someone out there. I hope that you're able to pick something. Thank you so much if you have watched up to this point. Thank you for your time. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you'd love to see more content like this. You can also share, like and comment if you'd like to engage with me. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you around. Bye.